Hello, I'm Shawn, and you're watching Comfort Food Dudes. And today I'm just going to make some chicken and roasted vegetables. Stick around, see how I do it. Okay, so for vegetables, I'm really just going to do carrots and some potatoes, and I'll just chop up some onions coarsely. Okay. Okay, I'm just going to chop up my potatoes. Just dice them. Like that. Okay, for the onions, I'm just going to do a large diced on them. Cut them twice, once in the middle. Okay, and I just have a few cloves of garlic. I'm just gonna mince up here. Okay, so I've got my potatoes, my carrots, and my onions in here. I just minced up some garlic. You can hear the dishwasher in my background, sorry about that, guys. Anyway, minced up some garlic here. So basically what I got is I just have a few things I'm gonna add into this before I put it in the oven. And one being a cup of chicken broth and some olive oil. So I'm gonna coat it in a couple tablespoons of olive oil. Okay, and then I got just a mixture of dried, store-bought dried parsley, oregano, thyme, and a bit of rosemary, and some salt and some coarse black pepper. So I'm just going to sprinkle that on and mix it in with it. Okay. Okay, so in essence, you could probably just throw this into the oven and bake it now because it's got the oil coating in it and the spices. But I am just going to add a bit of melted butter to it. It's not warm at this point, it's just melted down a bit, so I can mix it in. Okay, so I just have a 9x13 baking dish. Okay, and I've just sprayed some cooking spray into it. And I'm just going to dump my vegetables into it. Okay, so I'm gonna save the other bits of vegetables for a little bit later for a different meal, because I'm just gonna cook just enough for tonight's dinner for the 4 of us here. I also have some chicken thighs that I'm gonna start in a pan, and then I'll add to this about halfway through this cooking time. And I like to do a longer cook on my vegetables. You probably don't need to go too long on it, but I just like them to be nice and soft and lots of flavor going through them and a little bit of crisp and stuff. So yeah, I'm just gonna do that. Put these in at 425 degree oven, and I'll just leave them in for about 25 minutes or so, at which point hopefully I should have my chicken ready to go, and I'll just add them on top and throw it back in for another 25 to 30 minutes. Okay. Okay, just a little bit of chicken broth in. I just want some liquid in there. Okay, that's not too much. It's about 2/3 of a cup, I suppose, of chicken broth. Okay, uncovered. I'm going to put it in now for 25 minutes. Okay, so while that's baking down there, I'm just going to go ahead and just prepare the chicken. It's just a really basic, simple sear it in the pan, and then I'll add it to the baking vegetables. So essentially all I'm going to do is I'm just going to just put a little bit of salt and pepper on the top of the skin here. Okay, I'm just going to pat it down. We want the skin to get as crispy as possible, so I'm just going to get as much of the skin up as I can so that it can get into the pan. Okay. And I'll season the other side once I put it into the pan. I'm just going to wash my hands. Okay, so I just got my old pan here. I just set it to about medium-high heat, 7.5 on the stove. I'm just going to let it get hot, and I'm going to add some canola oil to this. Just in with a couple tablespoons of the oil for now. Okay, my pan's pretty hot there. Can only get really so hot with this. I'd like to get myself a stainless pan. I think that'd work a lot nicer than this old Teflon one that's pretty much seen its day, but that's okay. Should work for tonight's dinner here. Okay, we'll just see if this gets a little sizzle. Okay. So I'll pinch a kosher salt on the back. more fresh black pepper. And a sprinkle of smoked paprika. Okay, I'm just going to put my splash guard here. And we'll let that go for, well, about 5 minutes anyway, and we'll see where it's at. Okay, so the skin's nice and crispy there, and I've just added it to my vegetable mixture, which has been in for about 25 minutes. I'm going to put it back in the oven for approximately another 25 minutes, and I'm going to check my chicken at that point. And I'm just looking for internal temperature about 165. Okay. Okay, so chicken's out, it's done, and I'm just going to move it over to this other dish. So I want all these juices out of here for to make a gravy. Okay, just have a chicken stock here, just a basic chicken stock, but I'm just going to add these drippings, and that's why I put the chicken broth in here when I first started, was just so I'd have a little more to add to my gravy. Okay, just a little salt and a little pepper in here. Otherwise the flavor is pretty nice in that basic stock. Okay, so the gravy's gonna taste pretty decent. Just let my pan heat up here and we'll make a basic roux, and then I'll just add the broth into the roux. I'll serve 2 tablespoons of butter, and I'll have about the same amount of flour. And a couple tablespoons of flour. Okay, so we're just going to cook that down for a minute or two. Okay, so I'm going to just come in and add my stock now, a little at a time. Oh, making a mess. Alright, I'd call that done. Alright, well this concludes this video today. So I got roasted chicken and vegetables. I put the roasted vegetables in at first for 25 minutes at 425, and then I pulled it out, tossed it, and then I added the chicken after I'd seared it in the pan for about 5 minutes. I added it in with this and put it back in the oven at the same temperature for another 25 minutes. The chicken's a little bit on the done side, so I probably should have maybe reduced my heat to maybe 400 or maybe only 20 minutes instead of 25 minutes. But it's not a waste by any stretch. We're definitely going to enjoy this. It looks really good, and there's some serious crisp on this skin, and I made a nice flavorful gravy out of the drippings that were there. Yeah, so I'd call this a pretty good win, and I'm getting pretty hungry just looking at this. So if you like this kind of video, please give us a thumbs up, and stay tuned, and we'll just try and make some more great videos here for you guys to watch as I cook every day for my family anyway. All right, have a great day. Take care.